Okay, so y'all came here. You want to know what a PBI is? Or PIB is?
Yes.
Well, you won't find out for a while. Oh. I know the suspense is killing you. What was that?
I've seen it. I just don't know what it is.
Oh, you've seen it. You will be reminded once you get one. Okay, so today we're talking about opinions, facts, or truth. And the truth is that what we're going to do today, it sounds a little bit like a class, but I'll try and make it fun. But it really gets down to our spiritual practice every single day. What do we do? How are we in the world? How do we evolve and see things out in the world today? If it's complicated, raise your hand.
Well, I make it complicated. It's getting easier.
It's getting easier because you're coming here, right?
It's getting easier.
Because the world is moving really fast. Anybody heard of AI?
Yeah.
I heard there's a bubble. And how could you have a bubble in AI? It's expanding continually. And there's a lot of division going on. The truth, it comes down to, what do we really believe? Is it an opinion we believe? Is it fact we believe? Or is it the truth that we believe? And how do we look at that in the big picture? And it's sometimes really hard. Really hard. And sometimes it's not. But I'm going to try and give you some methods today. Ernest Holmes said this. He said, we are to remain open at the top, not open as unprotected, but open as a receptive, spiritually available, grounded principle, while welcoming in an evolving understanding of reality. So today, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to talk about the blurred spots. How do we look at this? And I'll give you a little example. As I was practicing this morning, what always comes to my mind about opinions, facts, and truth is 9/11. Because I have that vividly somewhere in my mind. And I can remember the day I'm walking out and somebody says, you got to look at this. And I'm looking at what was going on. Everybody has that picture, right? And in my mind, I was going, what? Is this real? Is this really real? Is this in the United States? And so through the crowd I was with, there were lots of opinions. Lots of opinions. And I just kind of had to go into myself and say, okay, for me, what is that? What is that? And initially I was in the opinions part. And then I had to look at it and say, that is fact, that's true, that's going on right now. And then something happened about 5 minutes after being shocked. I'll be real honest, I was shocked. Is that I went into spiritual practice. I went in to say, where's God in this? Where's the divine acting in this? And I had to come from a higher place to know that even though this is a tragedy, and we see tragedy all the time, there was something greater happening here, which eventually, and if you've ever been to New York since then, there was an incredible community came together, and what they have built as a result of that, museums, the waterfall, just people it's a whole different place now. It's a whole different place. So even though it looked terrible, I looked at it and said, okay, something good's going to come out of this. And that's pretty awful, not pretty awful, that's pretty hard to do, especially when you see the tragedy in front of you. We were talking about somebody this morning about being homeless and how that's hard to watch. And the truth is we can look at it and say there's nothing good there, or we can say, you know what what's my part, and what can I do to support, and are they going to be receptive? There's so many things we could look at, but I'm not going to go down those roads. The thing is, we're going to talk about opinions, facts, truth, and then we're going to talk about PIB. Because where do you put all this? Where do you take all this stuff that you see or you pray for and it happens and you go, oh, that was kind of nice. Where do you put the good? I'll show you later. I'm going to introduce a new word. It's called open tide. Open tide means a season of spiritual receptivity, a sacred time of widening our awareness while staying rooted in the timeless truth of our being. It's not aimless exposure. It's conscious openness, a willingness to receive new insights, new wisdom, new revelations. It's okay. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. It's about being open to asking Spirit, what is it I need to see here? What is it I need to look at? What is it I need to understand better? And not being closed down or forgetting, because I think we forget. Anybody here forget about God? Yeah. Or Spirit, Divine, whatever you want to call it. We all do because we get caught up in the stuff, right? So easy. But, and I have a whole list of things that we're going through, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit, only because I think we see it, we want to ignore it. We see it, we want to ignore it. And I think it's important for us just to realize this is what's going on in life. Things like a rapidly shifting technology. You can get news in a flash, right? You can get it in a moment. And then the next day, or next moment is different. So that's technology. Social unrest, we see it all the time. Misinformation. I can't believe anything I read anymore. Yep. I can't. It's, I don't know what's real and I don't know what's true. So I wait till there's some truth that's being shown. Deep fakes. How many of you have been on Facebook? This is really interesting. And they're those reels, you can go and I get caught up in those and, I like to watch the dogs. Anyway, but what I've noticed lately is that people are using AI and real people together and talk about being strange. Yeah. And I have to go, what am I looking at? That's right. What am I really looking at? And I have to say I'm looking at creativity. I may not be, the line's not eating the baby thing. And I've seen that. I'm like, what is that? So, but that's a deep fake. That's something to be aware of. Polarization and two different ways of looking at life. Some violence and conflict, obviously. Anybody have any family issues, fractures in your family? Oh no, never, right. And harm to some communities. So a lot is going on. A lot of it's going on. Now, I thought it was so important that we went through this. I've got 3 points I want to talk about around that. The first one, in this climate, it's imperative we discern lines between opinions, facts, and truth. We discern what's really going on. We anchor ourselves in oneness, in wholeness, spiritual principles, and the creative process of our mind while staying open to learning, unlearning, and evolving. I want to say that again. Staying open to learning, unlearning, and evolving. Because we're a lot more alike than we realize. But everybody has a different opinion. And then the last one, I wrote this one because I thought it was so important. We have to rise to a higher level of spiritual maturity and become instruments of healing in a questioning world. It's interesting, I mentor 2 other ministers. One that's in the creation of their teaching chapter, another one that's been a minister for 3 years. And this week, we haven't been able to talk for a couple months, but this week we talked. And she was having conflict. Now, this is quite interesting. Conflict with her board. And so I let her talk, and I let her talk, and I let her talk. And then I thought, there's one thing that I think a lot of places forget, and that is, what is a church for? Who's OM? What's OM? I've already declared it, whether you realize it or not, but we're a healing center. And everything that we do around what we do is around healing. Healing the mind, healing the soul, healing the hurts, healing the body. It's about knowing something greater. So I asked her that. I said, so what's your church about? Is it just a church in a box? You just show up on Sunday, you do a talk, and you're done? And she said, what's funny? I've had 2 other people ask me that. And so part of this is about realizing that we all have a purpose. It's not just to show up on Sunday, but it's like, what are we going to do with this? What are we going to raise up to? It's not about going out and converting people. It's about realizing this is who we are. You're here on purpose. You're here to know that you're a part of the healing process. Period. End of story. So let's talk about some of the definitions. So opinion. I think I put that in there. Did I put you in there? Nope. I'll tell you what opinion is. It's in my opinion. Well, I have a slide for you on that one. Opinions are personal, right? They're emotional, and they're shaped by our experiences. They can be beautiful, meaningful, but they're not universal. So my opinion may not be your opinion. All right? Now here's your slide. Marcus Aurelius said, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. And then I thought, well, I always tell you guys something, so I thought I'll put it in writing. It's okay to have an opinion. Anybody here have an opinion? Raise your hand. Okay. But not to the level where your opinion starts to become the fact. Okay? That's the key here. Your opinion isn't necessarily the fact. We have a lot of people, and unfortunately news has gone to opinions opposed to fact. I love Walter Cronkite because he was Mr. Fact. But you can see how old I am now. Our own opinion, okay, own your opinion. It's okay. And say so from the beginning. My opinion is. I want to hear your opinion because it may be different than mine. In fact, I've had conversations with people that have been very difficult in opinions. And when we really started to talk about what it was or what the fear was inside of us, it ended up we were together on it. We were thinking the same thing. Just we said it differently. Said it differently. A fact. A fact is verifiable. It's based on data, evidence, and measurements. So the fact is that's a brown and burgundy chair, and it seats a person that up to 300 pounds. Okay? That's a fact. You see it, you can measure it, you can go, yeah, that's it. And it's gained by knowledge. But facts also change. As things change in life, facts change. So you got to keep up with the facts. Here's the truth is. And I put this in a slide because I think that we forget really what truth is. It's a capital T. It's unchanged, it's eternal, and it's foundational. Things like God is one. Life is one. Love is the nature of spirit. We are divine expressions of the one life. This is what we teach here. And Scott Albury, who I like a lot, I actually donate to him because he's a guy who every week he comes out with these brilliant ideas and stuff to help us with writing our talks and to read. He says, facts change, truth never does. Truth never does. Truth is the eternal presence beneath our shifting opinions involving facts. So I'm going to tell you a little story. Story is about a painter, a young man who is a painter, and he paints this beautiful, beautiful picture. And then he takes it to the village in the center, and he puts it up, and he has the gall, I think it's the gall, he has this idea, I want people to put an X where there's a mistake. Beautiful picture, put an X where there's a mistake. He goes away. He doesn't watch him, he just goes away. By evening, when he comes back to get the picture, it is marked up like crazy. Just marked up, and he's so disappointed. And he goes back to his master and he says, I'm so discouraged. I don't know what to do. I mean, I thought it was beautiful. And the master says, paint another picture. So he paints another picture, and then he invites people, and he goes back and he puts it in the center again. He goes back and he invites people to fix the mistakes themselves. He goes back that night, and nobody has painted over his picture. So not everybody, people are really easy to cross things off in it being bad, but to fix it takes courage. And to me, it takes spiritual courage to do that. We have to have that courage and not be afraid. I was talking with somebody this week, and I've told this story before, who was just down and out. I mean, they were just like, world is bad, this has happened, and you could see as they talked, it went here to here to here to here and to the ground. It was terrible. I could hear it. I could understand it. But I also knew something about this person. I knew that they were very spiritual. I knew that they grew up with John Waterhouse. Anybody know John Waterhouse? He's an old religious science guy. Not, well, I guess he's old. Anyway, he's just dynamic. Great, him and his wife in South Carolina. And I let them talk and and then I said, do you want to hear the truth? Do you want me to speak the truth to you, or do you want me just to let you wallow in your stuff? That's pretty bold. It really is. But I wouldn't have done that if it was somebody that didn't know anything. But it was her, and she made it a point to let me know that that's where her level was. I said, okay. She said, yes. And so I proceeded then to say, here's the truth of your being. You know, you've brought things into order. You've created a balance. Maybe you didn't communicate properly in this level, but blah, 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 blah. I went all the way through it because they were like, nobody wants to help me. And all I did is speak the absolute truth, that God was right there at the center of everything that was going on, no matter if she knew it or not. I got another email from her with a thank you because things were turning around. And I said, you have to do that. You have to know that there's a divine that's working in your behalf. Because when you get into this, bad, what do? Anybody want to give me a clue what happens? You shut God off. You shut off the creativity. You shut off what's possible. And so we have to stop doing that. And if you're in a bad place, and I'm going to tell every one of you, you have my phone number. You have my direct line. And if you say to me, you're too busy, I'll say, you're too busy to call me. Life is just life. And if I'm not there, we've got 4, 5 practitioners who are there to support you. We're all here for you. There's some added people here. Just make sure you get... Great. Okay, cool. So let me give you some of the dialogue about the difference between opinions and truth. Opinion criticizes. Opinion criticizes. Truth creates. When you're in truth, you're creating all the time. You're moving into what's the possibilities. Opinion reacts. Truth expresses. Opinions look for flaws. Truth looks for possibilities. So if you find yourself doing that, shift it. Just shift it. And maybe it's not what you're thinking, and maybe it's just the way it's delivered. That's all. And according to the person who kind of wrote some of this, said your spiritual task is to keep painting, keep creating, keep expressing God, keep the opinions drift by clouds, and stay rooted in truth. Stay rooted in truth. So there's one more word I want to give to you, and that's discernment. And discernment is about shifting, looking at it, reviewing it, and then shifting into something better. Thomas Keaton says, discernment is the process of letting go of what we are not. Discernment clears the noise so the truth can shine through. Anybody here use discernment? Yeah. So if you don't know, which way to go, just try and do some discernment. What discernment also does, and I didn't write this down, but what discernment also does is it pauses you. It pauses you into that assumption or that opinion. It makes you look at it in a little different way. It opens you up to what are the possibilities. But the ultimate discernment is prayer. Why would that be? Anybody? Come on. This is a class today. Why would prayer be important? Yes.
Because you're connected to your higher self?
Yes, that's one. You're open up to whatever's possible. And you can claim. I love praying in that way of saying, no, this is the truth, and this is the truth, and this is the truth. It shifts the whole mind. It shifts us from that place of being way down here to, maybe there is something possible. And it's okay. And maybe you don't see it. but we have to be open at the top. We have to be open to the possibilities. So now everybody's here for their PIB. PIB. Certification, PIB. What PIB stands for is Partner in Believing. Ooh. I guess I'll say it together. Ooh. And you're going to get your own PIB. And those that are online, we have your names. And if I don't have, like Gigi, I don't think I have your address. But we are going to mail to you your own PIB.
I got her address.
You got her address? Okay, great. So the thing about this is, and you're going to, you guys can start handing these out. The PIB is your journal. Why a journal? I'm going to give this, go ahead, and come back and give this to them, too. Partners in believing. In believing. So, everybody gets one.
Thank you.
So, see, and you need to put your name on it. It says this one belongs to. And we have these really nice blue pens you can write your name on. You both get one. So write your name on it. You guys will get one. It's a journal. But let me tell you what's different about it, and you're going to get a handout in this, and I'll give this to you later on. But I want to read this. Oh, you guys go ahead, put your name on them. I like it that you're paying attention to me. And these have a little thing on the end, so kind of click it off if it's on there. Oh, we have, oh good, perfect, just enough. All right, thank you.
Sure.
Now, once you've got your name on it, I don't know how your books look, but somewhere, either the back of it, you can do this at home, or you can do this here. I want you to write the words, how much good can I take? How much good can I take?
Where?
Either here or on the back. You might want to put it on a big, I did it on my mat on the back in a big marker. But how much good can you take? There's a reason for that. When you guys are ready. Sometimes we hold back our good. Sometimes we just don't take it in, or we don't think we deserve it. And this book is very special. This is not your book where you write all the problems. This book is about writing all the things good that happens to you. So you'll get a sheet, and I'm going to read this to you so you'll understand what it is. But it tells you what to do and how to use it. So PIB is journal, a dedicated notebook where you record only demonstrations of good. Answered prayers, synchronicities, intuitive guidance, unexpected blessings, healing, inspired ideas, moments of clarity, and opportunities that unfold with ease. So things that just happen easily. And you're going to get this. I'll give this to you. If I gave it to you, you'd all be like, ugh. So I want you to hear it first, okay? Yeah, don't write. And why it matters is because this reinforces your spiritual practice. It reinforces the idea that God is operating in your life. Whether you believe that or not, something, energy, whatever you want to call it, is operating in your life. And that when we focus on the good that's happening to us in many different ways and many different avenues, is that it starts to expand. Last night I went down Mission Gorge Road and had 3 green lights. Oh my God! You know, that sounds silly, but you know, when it's 6 to get to where you want to go, it's like, But over time, what's going to happen is you're going to start to see what I call a pattern of the good that's starting to happen to you. And when you start to see the pattern, pretty soon you start letting go of all the nonsense, the opinions. I have real good words for this, but I won't say it here. The stuff that's out there. Yeah, I know you laugh at me. I love that. Now, you all have a journal, so there's no excuse. Every single day, and you're going to forget this, so leave this somewhere where you have to do something with it. And I don't care where you do it, but at least every day write one thing in there so that it starts to make sense for you, and maybe it's just a prayer. Maybe it's here's some examples. It says, I prayed for clarity and suddenly knew the next step. That's a good one. An unexpected blessing arrived when I needed it the most. My prosperity class, people are talking to me about, oh, I got this check. I felt peace today without forcing it. Guidance came through a conversation I wasn't expecting. Things like that. The simple things. The things that we tend to take for granted. Because I really want you to understand that Spirit is revealing itself through you all the time. And then if you have the courage, maybe pick somebody in here that you can call and say, guess what happened to me today? Guess what happened to me today? Guess what happened to me yesterday? And you start to go, it shifts your whole mindset. We're moving into the holidays. Anybody have any regrets moving into the holidays? And it comes with sound. It does. I mean, it's important for you to realize this kind of thing helps us move through those things. Or health issues. This helps us put things in perspective. Now, if you need to, and I used to have a journal for this, I have many journals like this, where I just write everything down that just happened bad. Then go find another journal. Use something else. Don't use this journal for that. Do you think you can do this? Is this possible? Okay. All right. I have some other things here. Answered prayers, synchronicity, blessings, insights. You get an insight. Divine nudge. I get a lot of those. Unexpected good, healing moments, intuitive guidance, and wow, that was God moment. Wow, that was God moment. Put them in that book. All right.
Out of the blue, too. I remember you, I'm sorry, you
Nope.
telling me stuff coming out of the blue.
That's right.
From God.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
No, you're fine. I'm trying to think. I put a slide on this. It might be. I like you to see this because then it makes a little more sense to you. Builds spiritual confidence. It cultivates openness. Trains your perception through your journal. Weeks, months later, you can go back and look at it. Well, when you're feeling really depressed, you can go back and look at it and go, oh, I had all this happening to me. Let me change my mind. And that God was there all the time. In Romans 12:2, it says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's what I'm trying to do here is renew your mind and know that you have some place that you can go to and say, what was that good that was coming to me? Oh, yeah. It just shifts your whole being. You can feel it inside you. You can feel that emergence of, oh, yeah, I need to go back and remember that. So, you think you guys can use this? Is this helpful? This is different, isn't it? Different way of looking at it. All right, so I'm going to end with what I want you else to do during the week. You can put this in your PIB if you like. Just on maybe the back page of the first page. I want you to release one opinion. Or catch yourself in an opinion. Just release it. Because it doesn't matter. Reevaluate one fact. Ask if it is still true for you. Choose one truth to anchor in daily. Maybe it's God is my source. God is my source. I don't know.
What was the second one?
Reevaluate one fact. Fact. And then start to do your PIBs.
What was the third one?
Just, I'm sorry?
That's the third one?
Third one is choose one truth to anchor in daily. One truth to anchor in daily. So something that you really believe in, and if you're in sales, it's like, all my sales come easily. Anchor in it. Ask for it. You deserve it. And then start doing your PIV. All right? Does that sound like enough work for you for the week?
Perfect.
Can you repeat those just really quick?
Oh, sure, sorry. Okay. Release one opinion. Reevaluate a fact. Is it still a fact for you, truth for you now? Choose one truth to anchor in daily. And begin your PIB. And for everybody that's online, we will be sending you a book. As long as I have your address. If I don't have your address, hey, Susie Zielinski in Tennessee, good to see you.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a while.
I know. We'll be sending. Make sure I have your address. If you don't think I do, just send it to me. You can text it to me. All right. So, take your PIBs, put them on your chest right now. No more writing. Hold them here. I'm gonna pray over it. Sound like a good plan? So I'm knowing, as I anchor in this idea of opinions, facts, and truth, that I anchor into the truth that God is right here in this moment, guiding each and every one of us through our day, that we're never ever alone, and that we see these demonstrations happening all over the place for others and for ourselves. And we record those because that is our evidence of knowing that we're not alone. And so I bless each of you today as you start your journey of recognizing how the divine works in your life. And I know that as we do this work individually and collectively, that because of our good thoughts, the world changes for the better for each of us. And that we are powerful messengers of the divine in our individual lives and in the whole. The Spirit guides and directs us at every moment, and it is very, very good. And this never ends. It's forever. For that, I am grateful. And I release these words knowing it is just done. And join me in saying, and so it is. And so you are. There you go. I'm done.